So Highland Guys Podcast, I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with...
Yeah, I'm David from Signs of the Swarm. I do vocals.
And we're going to have some questions there about the upcoming album, To Rid Myself of Truth. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you guys feel about the response to the announcement so far?
Honestly, very exciting, you know, also nerve-wracking at the same time, you know, people, it's hard to live up to the expectations that people have sometimes, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that our creative path scratches everyone's itch that they're hoping for, you know?
Hell yeah. Well, people have seemed excited thus far, and we got to jam the record ahead of the interview, and this shit absolutely rips.
It is insane. What the fuck? What the fuck? You know? Jesus.
Yeah. We're stoked.
Well, I'm glad it made you guys excited because it cures some of my nervousness, you know?
Yeah,
Good.
no need.
Yeah.
So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Actually, yes. The album title, I actually tried my hardest to try to dig in deep of like why I do what I do. And I returned to a couple of my old pieces and realized that I'm saying a lot of things that I'm too scared to talk about in real life. And it always felt like I was trying to get this truth out of me. And then like I was like, how can I make that hard, you know? And
I can make that fucking metal. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, and so like, and then I came to rid myself of truth. The original idea was called Vivarium, and I thought it might have been a little too heady for some people because like a couple of my band members didn't even know what the word was.
I would have stumbled over it if that's what you guys decided to name the album.
Yeah, you know, like
Yeah.
it doesn't stick out as much, you know, and I felt like that very attention grabbing, very thought provoking, like what truth is he trying to get rid of, you know? I tried to have it be about like, I tried to be more personal and more vulnerable instead of being, I like to say, behind a cloak. Whenever I'm writing about stuff, I like to try to think of artistic metaphors for things and symbolisms, you know? So I was really more upfront with everything. So I thought it was really fitting, you know? The album art, I really wanted to like envelop like good and evil shaping people because everyone has their own path that they walk. They've all have their regrets, their proud moments, and I really wanted this piece to really capture that and try to like showcase that in some shape or form. Like you have like the angels like holding up the wings, and you got like the skeletons like etching out the stuff. It was supposed to be the good and evil. I was trying to figure out like non-corny ways to kind of do that, you know what I mean? And really thought of like doing statues instead of like actual like I like the Who. I thought that one episode where like they have like those statue people like that, like I thought that shit was
Weeping
creepy
Angels?
as fuck. Yes, like,
yeah,
dude,
shit goes
like
hard.
that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about.
Of course, yeah, fucking dude, that shit freaked me out. Yeah, it still does. Yeah.
So like whenever we found our artist that made the album art, I kind of was like, he had a good foundation of what I was looking for. It was really close to like the sketches that I had, and I had some AI make some stuff to try to really like help the artist like get to where my brain was at, you know what I mean? So like it was very close, and it was a very easy working process. He really understood the vision and really grand slammed out of the park. Really happy with how that came out. I also have like little trinkles of like different like song Easter eggs throughout the album art, like the three-headed Cerberus dog. That's a little node to the song Sarkazin, because that actually translates to tear flesh like a hound. So it's has like its own bunch of little Easter eggs, but also a really good, meaningful piece, you know?
Yeah. I got you.
Very dope.
I know you mentioned in previous records, you know, you've shrouded your lyrics in a little bit more of like artistic metaphors, and this time you went a little bit more blunt with the lyricism. I'm curious about the decision to take that route, and also if it's like adding to your overall nervousness with the record rolling out, since you're a little bit more, there's not so much hiding what you're saying this time around.
Yeah, honestly, like that is a big nervousness. Like whenever like in my previous record, Amongst the Low and Empty, that was like the initial starting point of whenever I started getting my diagnosis for my eye disease. And it was kind of like a big question on what's going on, you know what I mean? And later now, with like clouded retinas, I kind of made it where like it's about my eye disease. It has a lot of key elements of what's going on with my anatomy, and but it's also relatable to where people can apply it to their own life. So I will say 100% it's making me very nervous, because like I talk about like my past addiction problems, like with Scars Upon Scars. That's very cut and dry. If you read the lyrics, you could definitely tell I was definitely trying to kill myself with drugs. And it's just like the truths that I needed to get out of me, you know what I mean? Because I try to think of like album cycles as good chapters to kind of like write about, you know. And I try to get everything that kind of happened or inspired me or influenced me in some shape or form as like a topic, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So can you tell us a little bit about the writing process for the album?
So we originally had this idea of kind of going like the route with like I Won't Let You Die, have like a lot of like industrial things going on. We were kind of going through that rabbit hole for a bit, and then we were having the realization that we were like having a hard time doing it, you know. And that's whenever my drummer and co-writer Bobby, he really just had the eye opener of like, maybe we need to just stick into what we know we're good at. And we were just like, we need to be just a heavy fucking band. Maybe we're trying to be too artistic. Maybe we're trying to push the envelope a little too much here. And I'm glad we had that realization, because I feel like that the piece that we got is going to be timeless. I feel like that it really captivates on the next chapter of Signs of the Swarm. Just like having more strong songs, stronger strong structures, more just straightforward bluntness about like the lyrics and even just the general sound. There's no like smoke and mirrors, man, you know. So I'm very the process was we started with doing that process, and we kind of like canned a lot of that. And we kind of went into the mindset of restarting. And Bobby wrote 11 songs before getting into the studio. And I probably had them for approximately maybe a month to 2 months of time, max. A lot of my creative process happens in the studio. I like to call him my little cheat code, my bass player Michael. He has a degree in like communications and like all that. He's like a thesaurus. He really helps me get out of my usuals. He really gets me thinking in different places. He comes up with great ideas, and I really appreciate having him as like my little secret weapon. Because sometimes I'll get to a block and I'm in the studio while I'm doing this, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm paying for this time that I'm there. So I'm like, yo, where's my boy at? You know, and he comes through.
I need a word.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't say blood again, bro. What can I do? You know, like
he's like, I got you.
Exactly. And sometimes he throws out some great like one-liners, man. He actually helped me come up with the title for I Won't Let You Die.
Nice.
Damn.
And I was just like, damn, like it because like we had so many different ideas for the song title for that, and he just popped it out, you know. And it was just he has he has his moments where he shines, but sometimes he be flopping, you know. Everyone does.
Yeah.
We all have
Everyone
those
does. I'm
days.
sorry, Mike, you know.
He's not 100%.
Not immune.
But
Exactly.
that, I guess that like in studio pressure allows for even more collaboration outside of just you and Bobby co-writing together. It also allows you to then include other band members when you're like, shit, I need
Exactly.
lyrics 30 seconds before I'm going in the booth.
Honestly, it's while I'm in the booth. It's like, hey, that really doesn't sound right. We need to rework this. We need to work this line.
Mhm.
And it's just like sitting there pounding my head against the wall. Because my producer Josh, he really likes to be real nitpicky on me.
But that creates great art. That's why that's why he's getting paid
I
the
will
big
say
bucks.
that pressure really does help form the diamonds.
Mhm.
It really does. I appreciate the pressure, but I do wish that like I could have had more time where like I maybe would have had some more organic ideas where it didn't involve so much pressure. But a lot of my material has been made that way, and maybe that's just my best working grounds, you know. Because like Amongst the Low and Empty, for example, everything was made in studio. I didn't have anything prepared. We were going through member changes, so that was a little bit tough, you know. Like to actually have like music to write to. I just had a lot of great ideas, and hope that it like resonated well, you know.
That makes sense.
So what song off the album took the longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Ooh, the longest one to write, I'd have to say, is Fear and Judgment, because that one, it has more of a political side, where I didn't want the wrong thing to be taken into the wrong context, because like we really talked about prejudices in the world and like how we've seen them all over the world.
Yeah.
And like I'm very, very, very privileged that I was able to find some like-minded people that wanted to be a part of that. Jack from 156 Silence and Johnny Crowder from Prison. I'm very blessed to have them, but it really took a long time. That was the last song to get finished.
Yeah.
It was really hard. Also had to get some things like greenlit, because the governor in Illinois, we used one of his like sound clips for in that song, and had to get some things cleared to make sure I wasn't going to get sued.
Yeah,
it's good. Yeah, it's
You know
good.
what I mean? So like there was a lot of things that went into that one that made it really hard, and it kind of made it a little more timely. But my favorite song, I'd have to say, is Chariot. It didn't make it to the single list. I understand, you know what I mean? But we tour so much, and that song's about touring and like being like a road dog, and there's just so many lines in there that like I just say on my daily routine of talking to people, like I'm falling down the rabbit hole. That's me whenever I'm spiraling, fucking losing my damn mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or losing track of time. Like there's just like a lot of lyrics in there that really resonate with my actual day-to-day life with my career. And I honestly can't wait to start playing that song on tour, because I feel like that it'll get that I don't want to say like bitterness or anything like that, but like that little like my day sucks. I can't wait to play Cherry and get like just say that my day fucking sucks.
You can yell it at people. A room of people, you can yell it.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd definitely say Chariot's one of my favorites, but I really, really do like the song Creator, because that's like the ego of being a creator, you know what I mean? And I like to have like some words that where people can make their own interpretations to things, where like I'm a god, a king, a giant, destroyer, creator of violence. Like that could be seen as like some problematic things that are going on in the world nowadays. You know what I mean? It could be, it's all into interpretation, you know what I mean? And like I like to try to write things that have multiple meanings to me, because then maybe it might resonate to people in different ways. Where like somebody might just be like, oh, I'm a creator and I feel like I'm the shit and I like this song, you know what I mean? But then if you look at the deeper lines of like things that could be side by side that have double meanings, it could mean something way deeper for you if that's what you're searching for, you know what I mean? And that's and I know I like to say that I went into this more with like a blunt and direct approach, but I will say I still like to have my fun with my cloak. You
Yeah,
know,
Of
absolutely.
course, yeah.
it's part of being a writer. I really love that kind of shit where it makes people think and be like, what the hell is this dude talking about? And it makes them read more.
Mhm.
And I really like that part of writing, you know.
Absolutely. No sense in losing it.
Mhm.
So how the track list for your album come about? Did you guys write the opener with the opener, close the big closer, shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
Honestly, that was like the last thing to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Sure.
more like, let's try to make all these songs. And then it was like, okay, now let's try to put this puzzle together.
Yeah.
And then that's whenever we like did some things that ran into other songs.
Yep.
Like there was actually like a couple other like opening track ideas where like I was like, I don't want to start a song with a feature song, you know,
Mhm.
or or the album with a feature song, or I don't want to do this because of that, you know, or this seems more like the last song than the first song. And we went with the route of almost emulating what we did with Amongst the Low and Empty. As soon as you hit play, it's a wall of sound just blasting you in your face, get you in the mindset of you know what you're getting yourself into. And as the album goes, it has that nice curve of just being heavy to the palate cleanser to finishing out on heavier topics, you know. And I wouldn't change a thing about it, you know. I love the track list. I feel like it has a nice flow. It's not like feature song, and then a bunch of signed songs, you know. It has a nice balance to it. Um, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Damn straight. Hell yeah. And would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating the record?
Ooh, honestly, it's a very depressive state.
Mhm.
I would hate to admit that I'm not the most pleasant to be around whenever I'm in the actual writing process phase, just
Yeah.
because I am kind of soul searching and kind of doing self therapy. You
Mhm.
know what
Yeah.
I mean? And that could be some confusing times, you know. And I'm also a picky motherfucker, truly. And like I'll spend days on something and I'll delete the entire thing,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
And or there's times where I feel completely confident, and then um, my my team will be like, "This, that's not it, man. You need to chill out." You know,
Yeah.
my producer likes to hone me in a lot. That's like one of the main items that I give to him, to tell me to chill the fuck out, because sometimes I'm so zoomed in that I don't realize that I'm doing all this crazy shit,
It happens.
you know. And like just being in the process though, like I usually would like to have a joint or two, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? It
Mhm.
helps the creative flow, you
Of
know what I
course,
mean?
yeah.
Like but other than that, like I really don't like have any other like drugs or alcohol like while I'm going through my writing process. Um I anytime that I hit barriers, like I like to call in like a Hail Mary from Mike, be like, "Hey, come
Mhm.
over, let's see what you like about this." And
Yeah.
sometimes he's like, "Man, you're kind of being a bitch right now." And I'm like, "Yeah, I get it, you know, sorry."
My bad.
Yeah.
You know, like, but
Yeah.
it has its ups and downs, you know what I mean? And that's
Mhm.
like with anything, like you can even sports people, you know what I mean? Like they're training, they're stressed out, you
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
like, and I believe like the pressure and the stress with time, you know what I mean? I feel like that has a lot to do with it, but it really, like I said before, the pressure really helps form these diamonds.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
really helps me not be too picky and keep like second guessing stuff. Because I'm really bad at that. Where like shit, I almost wanted to get rid of Amongst the Low and Empty off our last record because I
Damn.
thought it was,
Wow.
you know what I mean? Like just like I was like, no, we're trying too hard, you know what I mean? And we're like, this part just doesn't seem like I'm doing enough, and like I want more out of it. And honestly, it was the best balance, you
Mhm.
know. And that's where having people that you can trust to be like, no, you're in your head, man, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's very important for my creative process, 100%. And I'd like to shout those guys out because everyone knows who they are, and I'm very blessed to have them in my life.
Hell yeah. Shout
Very
out all those
sweet.
people.
Mhm.
Love it.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should you do it in the car with friends in the dark with headphones on? Is a workout album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
Honestly, if you want the full immersive effect, I definitely recommend start to finish headphones. Just close the lights out and just relax. Have the lyrics in front of you, read them, see if anything scratches that itch that you've been looking for, but
Yeah.
I have like we call it the press link,
Mhm.
where like a lot of my friends already have the record and they've been playing it like at parties and shit.
Mhm.
And a lot of people like they'll be like tanked and they're just like they start moshing in people's houses and shit, and like they're like,
It's
bro,
so dope.
yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So like I
Mhm.
feel like that it could fit very many environments, but I would definitely recommend to fully immerse yourself into it, read the lyrics,
Mhm.
try to find something to grab onto, that's in there, because if there's not one thing, there's something else.
Yeah.
Because I really tried to have this be very receptive and catchy.
Mhm.
I wanted songs that people can relate to and not just be like, damn, that's heavy. You know what I mean? I wanted it to be conceptually heavy,
Mhm.
like to where if somebody's going through like drug withdrawals because they're trying to get clean, like they could listen to Scars Upon Scars and they're like, damn, he lived through this, I can get through this. You know what I mean? I really want those moments for people. Or like for To Rid Myself of Truth, that song's about pushing all the good away in your life. If you're having those struggles where you're realizing you're doing that, I really want this song to really like let you know you're not alone, you're not the only person going through this. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's a large percentage of self-harm comes from,
Mhm.
that could be physical or even just emotionally. And I feel like having something to relate to somebody else in the world accessible to you is very important. And that's what I want this record to be.
Love
Absolutely.
that.
That's
Hell yeah.
beautiful. Damn straight. So
Thanks.
this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Oh fuck, that's hard.
Yeah.
Off the rip.
Yeah.
Chorus driven. That's a combo word. We're
Okay.
gonna
Okay.
put a
Hyphen.
little
Okay.
hyphen
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little hyphen.
Chorus driven, knuckle dragging,
Okay.
Okay. A lot of hyphens here.
and deep.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
That's
Yeah, that
good.
fucks.
I love that.
Yep. Off the rip.
Yeah, you did great. So, can you talk about any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of the album, positive or negative?
Oh my, the chorus for To Rid Myself of Truth. This will fucking resonate me for the rest of my life.
Okay.
I thought I had the money. I
Oh,
thought I had it. I thought I fucking had it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then like I'm doing it, and like literally he stopped me mid song and he goes, "You're doing too much. We're deleting all of it."
Oh
All
shit.
of it?
And I was like, "What?"
No! I was cooking.
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying.
Yeah, you're like, I'm
oh,
cooking with gasoline, and this guy like, nah, nope,
Nah,
not even
so
close.
It's like, you are doing too much. You need to let the song breathe, man. And I was like, what the fuck? And he's
Yeah.
like, this is what you told me to tell you to do.
Not
And-
this time. Not this time.
No.
Well,
Just
I'm
one
glad
time.
I listened, because like
Okay.
it I love how the chorus came out for To Rid Myself of Truth, but there is this little demon on my shoulder where I'm like, I think about that pre-pro where like I'm like spitting fucking bars, and I'm like, don't stand next to it was don't stand too close to me, my friend, was one of my favorite lines I've ever written.
Mhm.
And I was really bummed
Yeah.
that didn't happen.
Mhm.
Another challenge was time.
Mhm.
We tour so much, like where I'm surprised we fucking cook out the heat that we do. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think it, like I said before, I keep saying that pressure, but I really feel like it has a major part in our creative process. Um, where like just time was not on our side, but then we ended up finishing it, and we actually moved our record up a couple months. It was supposed to come out in
Damn.
October.
Overachievers?
Yeah,
Damn.
like literally, like we didn't even
Yeah.
intend on that to happen. It was like, hey, We think that you guys should move your record ahead. You have all this stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
And
dope.
we were like, yeah, like I'm stoked. If I could get my record out sooner, that means I could do another one sooner. You know
I
what I
was gonna
mean?
say,
Yeah.
get
My
started.
favorite part of my job, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But like another challenge was having the expectation of living up to Amongst the Low and Empty. That record really did a lot for us.
Mhm.
It kind of put us in a slingshot and just shot us up into the fucking clouds. And that was a huge challenge. And like still like trying to find the balance of like who does what good, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
because like with Amongst the Low and Empty, we were all over the place freaking out like, fuck, we only have 6 weeks, we need to hurry up, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we really don't got time to play around. And this time we had a little more time to play around, but it was more focused on my department of things than the music.
Mhm.
And there's some things where like I thought it was going to get trimmed down, you know what I mean? And that didn't happen. And I'm glad it came out the way that it did, because it not having those moments of like getting trimmed out, it made me be like, okay, well, how can I change my stuff around to make it feel like it works for me,
Mhm.
you know, and not feel like I don't want to call it like fat on a steak, but like almost feels like that little white part of the chicken you need to shave off before you cook it, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. Gotcha. That completely makes sense. I'm a cook, so you're speaking
All
my
right, that was
language.
a
You
that
know
was
what
a
I'm
sick
saying?
metaphor then, huh?
Exactly. I went, damn.
Hell yeah.
Right. Wait a minute.
I actually used to, whenever I was in college,
Mhm.
I used to be a chef assistant. So
Oh shit.
that's how I paid my bills. So like I'm
Yeah.
very skilled in the kitchen. I
Yeah.
love cooking. That's like
Mhm.
one of my favorite things to do on tour is like rent out an Airbnb,
Mhm.
get
Yep.
all the bands that come through, and like I barely talk to anybody. I'm just cooking for everyone. It's my
Chefing it up.
love language. You know,
Exactly.
it's my shit. I love it.
Do you have
That's so
do you have
funny,
like a
though.
go-to meal that you cook for the bands on tour?
It always varies to what the pot can afford, because like it's like a hey, here's the pot for food. You know what I mean? And some bands aren't stingy with money. You know what I mean? And like it's kind of like a matching game. Like, oh, this band threw in 200, we'll throw in 250, and you know what I mean? Like, because it's usually our idea, so we usually try to kind of compensate for us having that idea. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And but last thing I made on tour was a shepherd's pie. And
Oh.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's that soul warming food.
Comforting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it makes you think you're at home, get you out of that work headspace for a minute. Just massive comfort food vibes. Um, barbecuing is really fun too.
Mhm.
It's low pressure. You're not sweating
Mhm.
running around the kitchen, you know.
Yeah. Exactly. Chilling.
And also not burning people out of the house. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that too. That too.
Cooking for like 15 to 25 people at a time, that the kitchen gets hot.
Yeah.
You know?
It gets a little warm and a little toasty. Yeah. Jeez. So speaking of tour and food, actually, what is your go-to snack at a gas station or rest stop?
Shit, it depends on what store. Because if we go to Bucky's, I'm getting that Club Melt, no brainer.
Okay.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Or like if I'm in Europe, there ain't shit.
You're not eating?
There is not a truck stop type vibe. Like, and if
Damn.
there is, it's like lame ass sandwiches, like a weird ass mustard on it, and I don't
Oh,
fuck with
fuck
that.
that.
You know,
Yeah. Mm.
so it really depends on what region I'm in. I will say that Australia had some of the raddest like truck stop food. Like, I had a fried lasagna.
What the fuck?
No one ever
That's
talks
what I'm
about
saying.
Australia when we ask this question, by the way.
That
So
kind
I'm
of makes
loving
me
this.
sad.
All right,
That made my
Australia.
stomach turn a little bit.
No, don't knock it till you try it. I promise.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
I know. I
Okay,
promise. I
okay.
promise. I
Okay,
promise. That ricotta fried up, money.
Okay.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And it's like it's already has the sauce, but it's like on the inside, you know.
Exactly.
But
Okay.
I'd like to call Australia British Texas, because like their food is kind of really bangs.
Uh-huh.
Um, I was I was very skeptical on trying kangaroo. I know some people aren't gonna be cool with that, but you know, whenever I go to places, I really like trying everyone's cuisine.
You
Like
got it.
whenever I was in like in Asia, like I'm eating like pickled chicken feet and like
Mhm.
pig uterus, and like I try eating anything and everything. Just you only get to live once,
I
and
was gonna
never know
say.
when. I have this mentality with this job where like it can end at any time,
Mhm.
and I like to live every moment like I can. But in the States, I am a sucker for grabbing a bag of Lay's and
Mhm.
some ginger ale and popping in some headphones and watching some Netflix while we're driving. I like kind of hiding in my bunk
Mhm.
whenever we're riding. I'm just surrounded by people all the time, and like fans really like to talk to me more than other people in the band. So like um I'm always engaged, so
Mhm.
I try to find things where it doesn't take that much effort, like
Yeah.
even with like snacks, but um I will say I do have a sweet tooth where I love nerds, like
Picnic
those nerd
clusters. Mhm.
clusters. They're so fucking good. I love
It's what
them.
we caught you in the middle of when the
Yeah,
call
like I was
started.
Exactly,
stuffing
yeah,
my
you're trying to get
face.
away with it.
That's
I
great.
thought I had like a couple more minutes. I could stuff them in there,
The whole time we got your ass, bro.
And for the last couple questions, going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
Oh,
So,
shit.
if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Damn.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna die, I'd probably relapse and get a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Definitely say that 100%. Probably get a nice Cabernet. With like trying to remember what the actual word for this type of steak style. It's whenever it's steak crab meat with the asparagus and the hollandaise sauce on it. What the fuck's the name of it?
See, now I don't know that one. Usually when people try saying that, I'm like, oh yeah, I never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's
I think Glory's got it on the Google.
yeah. Please, it's gonna drive me insane. Please, I'm phoning a friend. Gloria, please.
Steak Oscar.
That's it. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
go.
I'd get a steak Oscar with a nice Cabernet,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe with a nice truffle potato.
Ooh.
I'd end it out real nice,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got all the
Um,
bang.
That's beautiful.
yeah, try to hit all them little marks of all the things I like,
Mhm.
and if I'm dying, fuck it, I'm relapsing, dude.
Nice little glass of wine. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Okay, do I get respawns?
I don't know.
No
No.
respawns.
If you
Shit.
fucking die, you're dead.
Damn. All right, I can't pick
Mhm.
Apex then. I'll get
No,
smoked.
oh my god, it's immediate death. At least for me. I don't last a minute, man.
I was gonna say if I get respawns, I'm going to Apex, baby. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
But I'd have to say EverQuest 2.
Mhm. EverQuest
I
2. Is that
I would
another
be-
game?
Yeah, it's a role playing game. It's almost like World of Warcraft. It's
Gotcha.
more of like the OG vein of it.
Mhm.
I hold some special memories with EverQuest as a whole
Mhm.
throughout my childhood and going into my teen years. So I would probably live there, and I'd probably be a necromancer, and I'd just turn myself into a skeleton and just curse everybody.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Love
That's dope.
it. And I thought of asking the last question. Every single person who's spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What is your favorite color?
Purple, man.
Purple?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Hell
solid
yeah.
color.
That's why Vital Deprivation is purple themed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
That's so dope.
I love it.
Yep.
All right. Well, those are all the questions we have for you today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Honestly, shout out to all the fans that have supported this album cycle and all our previous work. Without you guys, it'd be impossible to do what we're doing. I hope that people come out to a show, come say what's up, take a picture with me. Even if you don't got VIP, if you see me, come say what's up. I'll still take a picture with you. I'm not one of those guys. My time is your time whenever I'm on the road. So feel free to bug me. No pun intended, because this the bug thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, like sorry, I'm a fucking nerd. But yeah, shout out Century Media. Shout out to all my teams that have my back and keep me sane. And thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Of course.
Of
We
course, this
appreciate
was
you taking the
awesome.
time. Well, thank you. It's been David from Signs of the Swarm, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.